Right on, there's a good start for you.
Unreal.
Haven't even rigged up yet. Just tying on my little fancy knot here.
And guess what it is? It's a laker.
A laker. Well, I guess that's the thing. We're not exactly sure what we're going to get today. Is we've got Lake Whitefish, which is really what we're targeting right now. But the lake trout also cruise through and they pick off chironomids too, and we're chironomid fishing here up in the middle of the Yukon.
That is what it makes this place so special. On Wellesley Lake, and we're up at Kluane Wilderness Lodge, and what a fantastic area to fish. This lake is big, it's full of pike, big lakers, and the whitefish. I guess it'd be lake whitefish. And we're going to catch world record size for a class on the fly rod.
Well, and of all 3 species as well.
There he is. Look at that. Isn't that a dandy?
I love the colors, just the beautiful orange and the
they're big guts on them. They've been feeding like crazy. They got beautiful colors.
Right on.
Is that nice? Wow. And there he goes. No reviving. Oh.
Oh, it's going to be one of those types of days.
I think so.
There's just going to be so many fish caught today. You just know there's going to be so many fish caught today.
It's going to be beautiful.
And like you said, the best part is all visual. See all the takes.
Well, when you come back, you know, we should have some more great fishing in Wellesley Lake, so stay tuned.
Yeah, I hope you'll be ready.
Sport Fishing on the Fly is brought to you by G. Loomis and by Islander Reels and by Outcast. Nice fish.
Oh, that's one of the small ones. They get about twice that big.
Wow.
A lot bigger.
Unreal. Well, you know, we've had the opportunity to be here for a couple of days and have the chance to do a little bit of this. It's not like we got onto it right away. It took a little while to get onto it, find out where they're at.
Well, first we went out. We knew there's a few fish around in the shoals. We'd heard about that, but we went and checked out all the shoals and we didn't see any.
Right.
And they said it's very visual. You can usually see them moving on the shoal. So we went out to, what, 20 feet of water,
yeah,
cast in a few streamers and that, hooked up a few lakers, a few of the bigger ones. But then we moved back onto the shoal, and we saw them all sliding in. And it was that kind of day, that time of day. I guess it was about 11 or 12.
Yep. Started
warming up a little bit. Crawnies started coming off by the droves again.
Well, we came out last night at, it was like 10 o'clock at night. We were out here, and there's the chironomids coming off. It's beginning of June. Of course, they're getting about an hour of darkness right now.
That's it.
Yeah.
Not even, you don't consider it dark.
No.
It's an hour of dusk right now.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lake whitefish, one of the smaller ones. We expect to get, again, in the world class range, like 4 to 5 pound range. Oh, man. And these guys, I mean, you know what, the funny thing is when we're out here catching a few, these lighter ones, there's 2 different types. There's a lighter color, and I don't know if they're field males or males, and there's a darker one.
Right.
You get some of the bigger, darker ones, they'll take you well into your backing, like way into your backing. And this is a lighter one. Give me a good fight, but still. Oh man, great fish to catch on a chironomid. Absolutely wonderful fish. Okay, what I'll try to do with this guy, since he's not that big, try to just get the chironomid out of his mouth, right on the top lip.
Don't touch the lip.
What's that?
They don't touch his lip.
Oh, there he goes. And off he goes to swim another day.
Right on.
That was all right.
Excellent.
Not a bad start. First little whitefish. Let's see if we can get some more. Oh man, unbelievable. What a great way of fishing, isn't it?
Oh, well, because it's visual. You know, to me, fly fishing is the more visual I can make fly fishing, the better I like it.
Yeah.
And using an indicator like this is totally visual. You just wait and watch for your indicator to go down.
But the neat thing about it is it's such a huge lake. I mean, this lake is probably 10 miles long and at least a mile wide, if not 2 miles
I think
wide.
it's 4 miles wide.
4 miles
Yeah.
wide, wow.
Yeah, it's a big lake.
Big water. But there's so many fish in here, and they only have a few months to feed. So when they do feed, they feed heavily. You know, what's summer up here? July?
What's the angry?
They got spring in June, July is summer, and August it's getting cold again. So you don't get a whole bunch up here in the Yukon.
Well, Brian was telling us that they can actually go right to about the middle of September before it gets too crazy in here. The ice starts to come back on.
Okay.
And he says you can see some big fish in here in middle of September.
Oh, wow.
It says like some 50, 60-pound Lakers come up on the shoals.
Because it is June 4th right now, and
Yeah.
the ice came off 3 days ago. Actually, it just broke off. It's just off, and everything's come to life in here. So recommended setup. What do you think?
Recommended setup? Well, for these guys here, I'm going to pull them around this other side if I can.
Sure, muscle around. Just watch. You can't do the anchor rope.
Yeah, we'll see if we can go this way.
Have to go that way.
Let me pull them around first here. Okay, I think we're going to have to do the old tradesies again.
Go ahead. Always be careful when you move in a boat. We've tipped boats before.
Well, you're talking about recommended setup.
Yeah.
I think an ideal thing, when you come to Kluane Wilderness Lodge, you got to remember that you're about an hour and a half flight from anywhere. So what you bring with you is what you got. There's no second chances here. So for us, for the whitefish here and fishing the chironomids, I think like a 5-weight rod or a 6-weight rod. We've actually got 6 weights today. We have some 5 weights with us as well. We just happen to have the 6 weight strung. So I say 5 or 6 weight rod.
Okay.
Dry line for sure, which is nice. And then right now we're fishing in about 6 feet of water, and we're going down to I think about 5-pound test.
Yeah, that's it. I've got some 5-pound test on here. I have a 6-pound leader, 9-foot leader, gone on with about 2 feet of the fluorocarbon 4X tip.
Yeah.
About the 5-pound.
Yep. And the other thing you want is your strike indicator. Right now we've got our strike indicators at about 6 feet, and you want an indicator that you can move just in case we have to move out. So I put on the big yellow chunk of fluff.
I got my little gooey bob, and you got the chunk of fluff.
Yeah. Well, I like the big chunk of fluff, mainly because it's visual again. I like to see what's going on. You got a good look at this fish. I'm going to do the same thing you did, I think, here. Avoid touching the lips.
You always got to be checking your indicator. I always keep getting a hit.
There, actually, we'll just turn them upside down.
Yeah. This comes up.
Fly out.
There he is. This is a nice fish. Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful lake whitefish.
Wow, that's a whitefish. Am I lying out of the road there? Let's get back in. And look at the chironomids coming off.
There he goes. Just full of life. They look like pink salmon. I know the chironomids just covering the water. There's literally billions of chironomids coming off.
Amazing. Right on.
It's gonna be really good. We got some big ones coming up.
Well, I got chromie on right now too. What do you got on for a fly?
I've got a chromie on also.
Okay, well, I think we got a bench candidate in a little while too.
The chromie?
Yeah.
Yeah, good plan.
Should be able to tell when there's one swimming underneath it. Boy, talk about a fly that works perfect. There's a guy going underneath it right now. See that? Did I call that or what? Isn't that hilarious? He swam underneath it and plugged it. Oh, that is just too funny. That's just so uncanny. It's unbelievable. No kidding. I had on flies that we've been using the last couple of days. We've been catching fish with. They've been, working really well. Come down here. Don's got this one on. He can't get it in the water without picking up a fish. And I tried all these other ones. Nothing. Not a sniff. You see all these fish right around here. And you probably heard us. We called that. We saw the guy swim right over to it and take it. Wow. Oh, and there he get off. Nope. He's just coming back at us here. Get away from that anchor rope. We don't want to lose this fly. He's coming. There we go. Look at that fish, eh? Beautiful. Huge. And they actually are a very nice color too. A nice gold to them and everything. That's the reward you get if you got this one lucky fly. I have to set them back in the water, release them. And while I do that, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Fish on.
What was that? Oh, now that's what you call lucky fishing.
No way.
Not even looking at the indicator and boom, fish is on.
I felt it.
And we did. We found that they want a little movement each time. So what we're going to actually go through is how we're fishing it, how we're using the chironomids. And everybody knows, or most people know, basic chironomid techniques. What we do is we have the indicator on the dry line, fishing about 8 to 10 feet of water. We have the fly down about 6-7 feet. Oh, gee.
Double header.
One too. Double header.
Right on.
Now all we're doing is working the shoal area. And what we mean by the shoal in these big lakes is where the shallows actually go to a little deeper water. The shoal up here on top is about 2 feet, quickly drops to about 8 and then plateaus out for a little while. And all the fish are just sliding right in that 6 to 8 foot range, right along that drop off edge. So it's actually a perfect place to have your chironomid just sitting down along that ledge where all the fish are moving parallel to your fly, and you pick them off. There you go. How come you can handle? I was just going to say, how come you can grab them?
Actually, I just got lucky. I grabbed them by the back, flipped them over. And the old technique of flipping them over.
Well, you know what? Since you're down there.
There's fly clear.
Hey, there he goes.
Gone.
You know what we should do too is tell everybody water temperature.
Oh yeah,
Right now.
I checked it a little while ago. The ice came off, like you mentioned earlier, it came off 2 days ago. It's been off for 2 days now.
2 days.
We out last night, those are the first fish caught this year on it. It was 46 degrees. It's cold.
46, yeah.
46.
So, and we'll see. We're here for a week. We're here for a few days, so we'll check it as we go.
Yep.
And in future shows, maybe we'll see what it actually got up to.
Well, it'd be interesting on the shoals and the shore area too, because it's probably going to get nice and warm, and we're probably going to see some big fish up there. It's going to be good.
Hopefully I'm about to catch one of those big fish right now. Oh, there we go. Fish on.
Right on.
Oh.
Oh, look at the size of that one.
Is that a laker or is that a...
Oh, that's a
whitey.
whitefish for
Oh,
sure.
but
Look
it's
at the size
Yes,
of
I know. And it's a silver guy.
Silver, yeah.
Silver.
Huge.
Oh, I'll try to get everybody a nice look at this guy. Boy, they're full of light. There we go. Nope. They are too tough to grab. Holy cow. Oh, gee, there he goes. Oh, and he took my hook.
I know.
That's why I should never try to touch a fish. I never can grab him. I can't believe it. And he got my hook. Darn it.
So there's another chromie down the drain.
Yeah, and we're running low.
Yeah, very low, yeah. Well, you know, maybe it's a good time to go to the bench and tie some more up.
There you go. We're going to the bench, tie up a chromie. Hi everyone, and welcome to the bench. Today I'm going to tie you up the longtail chironomid. It's a very nice pattern, easy to tie, and whitefish will love it. Make sure you have these ingredients ready before you tie the fly. For the hook, we're going to use a Mustad C53S size 12. We'll use some UTC 70 black thread, a 1/8 silver bead as a bead, some white Antron yarn for the gills. For the body, we use some silver holographic tinsel, some fine red wire for the ribbing, peacock herl for the thorax, and some olive pearl crystal flash for the tail. The first step to the fly is to take your black thread, and I'm just going to tie on a small base layer. Once you have your thread tied on, I'm going to take a little bit of my white Antron yarn, and this is going to be tied in for the gills. And don't worry about making it too long right now. We're just going to tie it in right at the eyelet of the hook and trim off our excess. Take your whip finisher and whip finish off the black thread. And once we snip off our thread, we're going to take our silver bead and slide it up onto near the eyelet to cover up the gills. Now that the bead's slid up onto the gills, we're going to take our black thread again and tie it on, and proceed to tie the black thread all the way to the bend in the hook. Take one strand of our olive pearl crystal flash, measure it up the length of the hook, move it back, and make one long tail. And again, only use one strand of crystal flash to form this tail. Now we'll take one strand of our red wire, and it's actually a small, thin red wire, and we'll tie it in, and this is going to be used to rib the body after we tie in the body. After the red wire is tied in, take some medium holographic tinsel, and we'll tie it in at the bend in the hook. And once it's tied in, what we're going to do is pull our thread forward and start wrapping in a body. And again, keep the body thin and slightly tapered towards the head end. Now once the body's completely tied in right up to the bead, we're going to take the red wire that was sitting back, and now we're going to form about 6 to 7 ribs up the fly. I don't think the number is really important, it's just you want them fairly evenly spaced. And wrap this wire all the way up to the bead. Next we're going to take one strand of peacock herl, and we'll tie it in for the thorax. So just wrap it in right behind the silver bead, and then form a fairly small thorax, probably about 5 to 6 turns, and tie off. Now the last step in the fly, we're going to whip finish it off. Just to whip finish off our thread, trim off the thread. Then we're actually going to take our gills and trim them so they're about 1/8 of an inch long. Doesn't have to be exactly 1/8, obviously, it's just so that they're even. And to make the fly a little more durable, we're going to add some Ed cement or even flex cement to the body. And that'll just stop this tinsel from getting ripped apart by any of the teeth on the fish. This pattern is very effective for rainbow trout, but if you want a killer whitefish pattern, this is the one. Oh, just like that. That is crazy, isn't it?
Unreal.
And you know why? I think they travel in packs. Oh, and I lost mine. Darn.
Well, chuck it out there. Probably get a double header again. You got your fly still?
Yeah, I got all weeded up here.
Well, that's a good point with the whitefish too. They do travel in packs. You see them in schools, almost in these huge schools. I think they try to stick together because with the whitefish, they know they're kind of the bottom of the food chain here in the lake.
Everything feeds on the whitefish.
And the big lakers come in and feed on them.
Exactly. They get in trouble. Actually, that might have been a laker. You know, he was really starting to pull. I wish I could have seen that guy. He's pretty big. How's yours feel?
Feels like about the same.
Same?
Yeah, not real big, just a nice size.
Earlier on, though, we were out testing it out. We did catch some, 5 to 6 pound lakers, which are definitely world-class range. And they're, the whitefish.
Yeah,
and they're here. You got to get the right time of day. But this is your average size.
On the chironomid.
On a chironomid. I mean, you can't beat it.
You get a kick out of it. It's
so
fun.
I guess you don't want to change positions again.
The other thing about it is when they're taking, you watch your indicator. That's why I like having the big yellow guy on there, the big chunk of fluff. The thing I don't like about the yellow thing is it kind of can wreck your line, double header again.
Just like that.
But the thing I like about it is you can detect any kind of movement at all. And that's what you're looking for. As soon as you see it move, it doesn't necessarily get pulled under. This guy's all twisted up here.
Whoa.
That little guy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're just not going to be ready yet.
That's why mine, I'm talking about your favorite indicators, mine are the little corkies. I just love little corkies. The little red guys, just because they stand out so nice, they sit on the top so well. Geez, you have no problem picking those little guys up.
Well, because I don't mind touching them.
Oh, okay.
Poor fish.
Oh, man. Jeez. Oh, that's a darker guy. That's why he's been fighting so good. You saw your boat like that. Whoa. Gee.
Of course, having the polarized glasses on is really helpful too, because we've mentioned how much sunlight you get here. Of course, the sun gets very low in the sky for a long time, so having the polarized glasses is really good. And it helps you detect that movement because, like we mentioned, a lot of times it doesn't get pulled under; it just moves a little bit.
Man, this guy's scrappy. Oh, that's a decent size too.
Nice one. Like you say, that there's the lighter ones and the darker ones.
This guy's a little darker.
Look at the shoulders on him.
Oh. Yeah. For this class of fly line and stuff, fly fishing, we're going to get a couple of world record.
So you okay doing the guide thing there yourself?
Oh yeah, well, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab a hold of that hook again.
Don't touch his lips, watch out.
Don't touch his lips. Oh, he better not take my fly again or I'll be mad. There he goes. Down to the depths. That was a good fish.
Nice fish, yeah.
On the chironomid. You just can't beat it up here.
Oh, wow.
This is crazy. This is nuts, actually. Oh, man.
It is. It really is. And, we should talk about this whole Kluane experience because it's not inexpensive to come here. This is a thing you come here for a week. You don't just, like it's not on the side of the high or anything. You fly up to Whitehorse.
Yep.
After your flight to Whitehorse, then we took a single prop otter to get in here, and it took about an hour and a half flight to get in here.
About an hour and 20 minutes, I think it was, yeah. And you always have the luck grabbing them. I never do. So what I'm going to do
for you?
Oh,
look at how fat he is.
There you go. And just takes a gulp and off he goes. Great thing about the chironomids. And again, we're using barbeless hooks up here. That's pretty well standard. I think everybody uses the barbs. They pinch the barbs down on all the big gear and the flies. So.
And as far as licensing and all that goes, you get taken care of right here at the lodge too, which is nice. So we just show up here and they'll guide you through it. Yeah, Brian will tell you everything you need to do in order to get up here. Another great day fishing up here. Oh, and we're going to fish here tonight. It's in the afternoon right now. We're going to go and have a nice meal. We're going to come back out and fish all night long too until we're tired of it.
Eh? Yeah, tough.
It's a good thing. Anyway, you should really think about it. Like we said, it's not inexpensive to come here, but it's definitely worth it.
Oh, it certainly is, for sure.
It's worth the money. If you get a chance to come, make sure you take care.
And conserve the waters up here. They do a great job again. Barbeless hooks, big fish, and lots of them.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
See you next time.
Well, we take you sport fishing on the fly.
Sport Fishing on the Fly is brought to you by G. Loomis and by Islander Reels and by Superfly.